Good morning. We're going to start off in an easy seated pose, Sukhasana, and we're going to just focus on our breath. So hands on your knees, bring your shoulders down your back, sit up tall, crown to the ceiling, and just begin to notice your breath going in and out. Close your eyes or soften your gaze. Begin to deepen the inhale, in and out through your nose. When you inhale to the chest, fill up the lungs, send the breath to your ribs, send the breath down to your belly, and exhale from the belly, out of the ribs, out of the top of the chest. Begin to set an intention for your practice. Make sure to honor your body through this practice. Just a couple more rounds of breath. In and out through the nose. When you're ready, reach your hands up high to the sky. And big exhale down to the mat. And we're going to meet me on hands and knees. We're going to do a couple rounds of cat-cow. So you inhale, arch your back, look up. And exhale, round your spine like a Halloween cat. And inhale, head up, arch your spine, tailbone up. And exhale, down, arch your spine. And just begin to do a couple of times at your own breath, at your own pace. And if you want, you could move your hips around in a circle, do what you need to do to feel and be in your body. And we're going to meet in downward facing dog. So tuck your toes under, lift your hips to the sky, make an upside down V with your body. Gaze between your nose, gaze in between your knees or at your navel. Full breath in and breathe it out. Widen your shoulders. And you can walk your dog if you need to. And end up on your tippy toes. Heels down. And up on your tippy toes. And we're going to slowly walk our way to a forward fold. Hands up to or feet up to your hands. You can cross both arms. Make a fist and put it in each of your elbow. Just dangle. Shake your head yes, shake your head no. And when you're ready, we're going to tuck our tailbone and just slowly roll up vertebrae at a time into mountain pose. And bring your toes together to touch, heels slightly apart, hands out, stand tall. We're going to do 2 rounds of sun salutation A. So inhale, hands to the sky. And exhale, forward fold, go down. Inhale, look up, halfway lift. And exhale, step back to your plank pose. And we start knees, chest, chin, down to the floor. Cobra pose, Bhujangasana, and downward facing dog. Take 5 rounds of breath here. Last breath. And inhale, look up to the top of the mat. Step or hop to the top of the mat. Inhale, look up. Arch your spine. Exhale, fold forward. And inhale, stand up, hands to the sky. And hands in prayer position, Samastitihi. We're going to do it again. Inhale, hands up to the sky. Look up, swan dive forward. Exhale, go down. Inhale, look up, halfway lift. And exhale, back to plank pose. Down to knees, chest, chin, or chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. And exhale, downward facing dog. Take 5 rounds of breath. Take one more full breath in. And let it out. We're going to step or hop to the front of the mat. Inhale, look up. And exhale, fold down. Inhale, stand up, hands to the sky. And hands in prayer position, Samastitihi. Now we're going to do Sun B, Sun Salutation B. So we're going to sit down in a chair pose. Sit down, hands up to the sky, look up. And exhale, fold forward, go down. Inhale, halfway lift, look up. And exhale, step back to plank and take your vinyasa. Inhale, upward facing dog. And exhale, downward facing dog. We're going to step our right foot in the front of the mat to warrior one. Angle your left foot. Stand up, hands to the sky. Keep that knee bent forward and your hips square. Inhale and exhale. Back down to your plank and your vinyasa. Exhale. Upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. And we're going to go to the other side. Left foot forward in between the hands. Bend that right knee. Stand up, hands to the sky. Square your hips. Feel that stretch in the front of your hip, or right hip. And exhale down back into our plank. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. And exhale, downward facing dog. Take a couple rounds of deep breath. And step or hop to the front of your mat. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, down. Inhale, chair pose. Sit deeply, hands to the sky. And exhale, back to Samastitihi, hands in prayer position. So we're going to start to flow. The first set, we'll do a couple breaths with each pose, and the next, we'll do it again and do breath with movement. So inhale, hands to the sky. And exhale, fold forward, go down. And meet me in downward facing dog, any way you'd like to get there. Right leg high to the sky. And bring it forward into a low lunge. Take a twist to your right, hand up to the sky. Take one full breath in and breathe out. And inhale, we're going to come up into crescent lunge. Knee deeply bent. Front foot, hands to the sky. Take a full breath in and out. And we're going to transition into warrior two. So hands on either side, right leg still bent. Look forward over that right palm. Look at your middle finger. Try to take your right knee and point it towards your pinky toe, your right pinky toe, to open that hip. And inhale, peaceful warrior. Paint the sky with your right hand. Turn back. Don't put all the weight on your left hand. Look up to the sky. And exhale, we're going to revolve or extended side angle. So you can either put your hand on your elbow on your knee, hand to the floor, right hand forward and up, and look up at that left hand. And we're going to come into a half moon pose. So everybody, put your right hand to the floor, left hand up, left hand to the sky, and stay and breathe for a few breaths. If you want, you can look up to the sky. You can take that left hand in your palm if you like. And gently, we're going to step back into warrior two. And back into revolved warrior. And windmill your hands. We're going to come down and take a vinyasa. Step back to plank pose. Exhale down. Inhale, upward facing dog. And exhale, downward facing dog. Take a full breath in. And let it out. Do the other side. Left leg high to the sky. And step forward to a low lunge. We're going to take a twist. Left hand up to the sky. Twist to the left. Take full breath in. Try to square your hips. Don't have one hip lower than the other if you can. And exhale, we're going to come up into crescent lunge. Sink a little deeper into that left leg. Hands it to the sky. Feel powerful. Look up. And exhale, go to warrior two. Just like the other side. Send that knee towards your left pinky toe. Sink a little deeper. And inhale. Hand up to the sky, right back. Peaceful warrior. And exhale, extended side angle. And if you can, if your elbow is on your left knee, try to take your knee and push it out back just slightly. And we're going to come into half moon. So bend forward, left hand on the ground, right hand up. Take your right heel and flex it. It'll help with the balance. Find a drishti if you need to. A point on the floor where you can focus. Take a few breaths. And exhale, we're going to step back gently into warrior two. And peaceful warrior. Inhale. And exhale. Windmill your hands down and let's take a vinyasa. Take a few rounds of breath just to reset. On this next flow, we're going to add in one more pose. Right foot high to the sky. And step through to your low lunge. Take a twist. Left hand to or right hand to the sky, twist to your right. And exhale, come up into crescent pose. Now this time, bring your belly over your knee, hands forward. We're going to come into warrior three. So hands forward or back, airplane your arms, balance on that right leg, left foot back, Take a full breath in. And exhale, step gently back into your crescent lunge. And exhale, we're going to go to warrior two. Inhale, peaceful warrior. And exhale, extended side angle. Look up to the sky with your left hand. And another balancing pose, half moon. So bring your right hand to the floor, bring your left hand up. And balance. Gently step back into your warrior two. Inhale, peaceful warrior. And exhale, down to the floor. Take your vinyasa. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Left side, left foot high to the sky. Bring it through in between your hands. Take a low lunge. Take a twist to the left. Left hand up to the sky. Try to keep your hips level. And exhale, lift up to crescent lunge. Now we're going into warrior three. So bring your hands forward, chest over your thigh, and lift up. And balance on one leg, right leg back. And exhale, back down to your crescent lunge. Hands up to the sky. And transition into warrior two. Exhale. Inhale, peaceful warrior. Exhale, extended side angle. And we're coming to the half moon on the left side. Left hand to the floor. Right leg up. Right hand to the sky. And exhale, step back into warrior two. Inhale, peaceful warrior. And exhale, cartwheel your hand down, step back to plank and take your vinyasa. We'll take a few breaths in downward facing dog. Another full breath in. And exhale, come through to a seated position. Actually, excuse me, we're going to go into pigeon pose. So take your right foot, sorry, I should have transitioned. So take your right knee to your right hand and your left hand to your left foot to your left hand. We're going to do pigeon pose. So square your hips, don't roll too much to the right or to the left. And sit up tall, take a slight back bend. Inhale, full breath in. And exhale, melt down to the floor. We'll stay here for some breaths. Just slow down your breathing. Take some time to really feel in your body. Stretch out that right hip. Take a few more breaths. And when you're ready, should have transitioned last time, but let's go back into downward facing dog and we'll transition to the left side. So now bring your left knee to your left hand, right foot to your right hand. The angle can be whatever you need. It doesn't have to be parallel, so don't force it. Sit up tall, lean into that back bend slightly, take a full breath in, and exhale, soften forward. Just focus on your breathing, full deep breaths. Try not to lean too far to the left or to the right. Just square your hips. And we're going to transition to a twisting pose. So instead of going back to downward facing dog, lean forward on that left hip, keep that knee bent, and take your right knee, and we're going to bring it across over to the other side. Sit up tall, left hand high to the sky, and take a twist to the right. Try to get that elbow behind on the other side of your knee, and twist. Take a few rounds of full deep breaths. When you inhale, sit up a little taller, and exhale, twist a little deeper. And take a counter twist. And we're just going to switch sides. So take your right knee to the floor and bring your left leg over your right. Sit up tall, right arm to the sky, and bring it around to the left for a twist. Try to keep both hips on the floor if you can. Don't try to lift up too much on one side. Sit up tall. With each exhale, try to twist a little deeper if you can without forcing. And take a counter twist. And come down. We're going to take a seated pose, one more seated pose. So you're going to do a seated forward fold. Well, first we're going to do just a short dandasana, one couple breaths. Bring your hands to the floor, lift up your heels, put some muscular energy into your quads, sit up tall, take a few breaths. And hands up to the sky. And reach forward, bring your hands to your feet, lead with your heart. And just take a couple of full deep breaths. And hands up to the sky. Take another full breath in. And we're going to lay back on our back and do 2 rounds of bridge pose. So bring your heels. Try to touch your hands with your heels. Lay on your back. We're going to lead with the core and lift up the tailbone to the sky. And imagine there's a block in between your knees. You don't have to squeeze it, but just try to not flay out your knees, but bring them more towards the center. Bring your tailbone to your heels. Take a full breath in. As you let it out, round down 1 vertebrae at a time, back to the floor. And we'll do 1 more. Inhale, lift your tailbone up. And if you want, you can make your shoulders closer and interlace your hands under your back to get a little more lift. Take a full breath in. And exhale, roll back down 1 vertebrae at a time. Bring your knees to your chest. Give yourself a big hug. And we'll come into a quick happy baby. So heels and feet flat to the sky. Bring your hands on the outside of your feet. Try to keep your tailbone imprinted on the floor. Don't lift it up. And just rock from side to side if you need to. Just massaging that back and spine. Now we're going to just come to our Shavasana. So legs as wide as the mat. Hands out, take up space. I like to bring my shoulder blades in a little bit. And take a big inhale. And exhale, sigh it out. And just take your rest. And begin to deepen your breath a little bit. Be more aware, come into your body. Wiggle your fingers and your toes. Just bring small movements back to the body. And take your hands and leave it up, do a full body stretch. Knees to the chest. And we're going to turn either to the left or to the right in a fetal position. Inhale, take your hand, lift yourself up, and we're going to come back into an easy seated pose. Bring your left and right hand to your heart. Take a full breath in. Just feel your heart beating and thank yourself for the practice and taking care of yourself. Hands in prayer position. Thank you very much for joining me in my practice. Namaste.